Okay, there may be some interruption from the people in the background, but you know.
I started. Hi,
How I
everybody.
go.
Welcome.
Hello. Welcome to week 4.
No, week 5.
Oh my God, why am I so on week 4?
Because we pre-recorded last week.
That's what it is. So I'm stuck there. Okay.
This week we're talking about purpose
Purpose and
and
vision.
vision. The prospering power of purpose and vision. And I'm going to grab the Catherine Ponder book because I'm super prepared.
You sound super prepared. That's funny.
Translation, I'm not prepared.
I'm getting it together.
Okay, she doesn't talk about purpose. So we're going to go with Edwene Gaines' philosophy. And that's actually where this topic came from. So Edwene, one of her 4 laws is having a purpose. And Napoleon Hill talks about it in Think and Grow
I remember that.
Yeah. Definiteness of purpose.
Yep.
And honestly, they talk about them in different ways. A lot of prosperity teachers, even modern ones, will talk about purpose, but they're talking about it from the standpoint of mostly like your vision for your business. But we're not all entrepreneurs. So I want to talk about purpose in like the grand scheme of life, because your purpose doesn't always necessarily have to directly relate to money coming into your world. So for me, my purpose for the last 14 years and probably the next 8-ish is the kind of mom I want to be. It was really important to me that my kiddos not be raised in daycare. So it was important to me that I be accessible to them. And I had heard the story. I think this is part of the story that brought you into my life, actually. I wanted to be at home with my kids so much that I created getting laid off from my job and totaling my car in 1 week. Because I just wanted to be home when the kiddos got off the bus. And suddenly I was home when the kiddos got off the bus. I didn't have a job and I didn't have a car to go out and get one. I was in the land of really crappy public transportation.
Yeah.
And my finances, my financial world, and my living space finally changed when I sank into that purpose that I have of the way I raise my kiddos being priority. And one of my teachers said to me that the way I was raising them was special and I was doing it for a reason, and that they would be, I guess, like greater change in the world. Right now they're just being loud because they're roaming around on my bed, making it make
noise. Oh yeah.
But hold on a second. Hey, are you so anyway, she said that and something opened in me, just like when you said a thing that we're not going to talk about on video, but something opened in me and I sank into that idea, and literally within 2 months of being open to that idea, the minis and I were in our own space after sharing space with other people for like 4 years. It's not fun couch surfing with 3 kids. It's so much less fun than couch surfing by yourself.
Yeah. Sorry, I got distracted.
I said yes to my purpose. Life got a lot easier. What'd you say?
I got distracted by something. SOI.
Oh, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. Definitely. Purpose. I don't know. My purpose has changed. I always thought my purpose in life, well, it's service, right? I've always had that my purpose in life is service to others, right? The more I give, the more I get. But I think my purpose at this point is to live the richest, happiest, most fluid, freedom-based life possible. And that comes in different forms. Because for me, my purpose has always been tied to other people or business. It's been tied to something. And at this point in my life, it's tied to me. I had a moment, and I'm, gonna skip some parts. But basically, I'm going to something, and I had said, "Oh, I wanted to go with a certain person." But then I thought to myself, like, it doesn't matter whether the person comes or not. I'm still going because I want to go. I want to be there. I want to do it. It'll be nice if they come, but they don't have to. I'm not gonna feel any type of way. So my purpose at this point is tied to my happiness. Where does this fit into the grand scheme of my happy, joyful life? So that's my purpose. May it change? Probably. Will things, how I approach them, change? Definitely. But right now, my purpose in life is to find my ultimate happiest place to be. I woke up, was it yesterday or Friday? And I was ridiculously happy. And I try to find that place on a regular basis, regardless of what's happening around me. Is finding that ridiculously happy place. So that's my purpose, is to be happy wherever I choose to be, however way I choose to do it, whether it's a business, a relationship, whatever, is to just be happy. And not kill little children. Let's add that, not kill little children, especially little girls. But there's that.
You're so goofy. How did you identify that so that other people?
I think that it became a point where it's like, okay, I can be in service to others, and that's great. And I can still do that, right? I can still be in service to other people and still, live my life. But it became them versus me. It became, I wasn't happy doing the things that I was doing because I was doing it because it made other people happy. It didn't always make me happy. And so I just realized that, like, this is a point where I work on me and make me happy. And if I'm happy, then guess what? The people around me get to be happy, because who wants to be bothered with a grumpy person? Yeah. Who wants to be bothered with somebody who's not happy with their life and is complaining all the time? So that's how I came to realize that my purpose, I'm first. And once I get that person together, then everything else will sort of fall into place. So it's a feeling. To me, it's a feeling. And it'll change. Who knows in 2 years, once I figure this out, whatever that place you get to where you're like, we're good. You know what I mean? And then it changes, like you think about, like, not to make it sad, but you think about like Trayvon Martin's mom, or Mike Brown's mom, or these women who've lost their children, and their purpose changed. They go from being moms to now being advocates for other, other mothers, or a parent whose child has drowned, or even somebody who, has suffered an illness, you know what I mean? Or something has happened to them. Their purpose changes. As life flows, your purpose changes. It's an ebb and flow. That's what I think the thing with purpose is.
I agree. It's the driver that we have. Mm-hmm. So my driver will probably always be my babies, even when they're not babies anymore.
Yes.
But the way that looks and the way that shows up will change as they grow. Like, they don't need me to be home 24/7 anymore. Nobody's in diapers. They can all cook something. They may not all be able to cook like actual meals yet, but they can all cook something. They know how to use a microwave. They can feed themselves. So that's really important, and it's really awesome. So what does purpose have to do with vision? Because that was your addition to this party.
Vision is how you live out your purpose. Is what do you see? How do you see your purpose playing out in your life? How do you visualize that purpose living out? So my purpose is me. How do I see myself being happy, free, and in that way? How do I visualize that? How do you visualize yourself taking care of your kids? How do you visualize yourself in a better job, right? Because let me not use job, because I think job is only part of purpose. It's not, you know what I mean? Your purpose is not a certain job, right? But how do you see is that, like, what is that vision? What does it look like, right? So for me, it looks like me having a business that brings in enough money that I can have the freedom to go to my son's school if I need to, move to the area that I want to live and travel when I want to travel, right? Drive the car that I want to drive, live where I want to live, visit my family when I want to visit them. That's what it looks like. Be able to give as I freely want to give and not have to worry about, oh my God, I only have a certain amount in the bank, and if I give this, and you know what I mean, what's going to happen next month or 2 months from now. So it's like, what does that look like for me? That's what it looks like for me. However, you know, your purpose for you look like you being able to take the boys to school in the morning, you know what I mean? Being home when they come home, sitting down and eating dinner together with them, doing homework. So what does that look like? So you have your purpose, right? The thing that you feel called to do, right? And like I said, it changes, and there are different purposes, right? We have different areas in our life. There may be a purpose in health. There may be a purpose in wellness, right? There may be a purpose in family. There may be different purposes, right? But it's like, ultimately, how do you see that playing out? And because I think there could be a confusion sometimes with people, because if your purpose is to be a jet setter and then you marry a guy who wants a stay-at-home wife, you didn't think that necessarily through. You know what I mean? And so you didn't see the vision, right? So you didn't see the vision because y'all don't want the same things, and that's not the husband for you, perhaps, right?
Perhaps.
That's not the life, perhaps, because, you know, that can also change, right? So people come into our lives and they change our purpose. So maybe you thought you wanted to be a jet setter, and then you meet this guy, you're perfectly happy being his wife and stay-at-home mom. You know what I mean? Or whatever the situation is. But I think that it has to look like something first. You have to see it first, right? So, like, I see myself having a successful business, but what does success look like for me? What is that vision of success I have, right? Because it looks like different things to different people. It's not about the money. It's about the fact that I can do what I want to do within the business, right? I can be able to have different touches and different reaches, right? So success might be success might be having 2 locations, right? Or success might be having 25 locations, or it might be international. It's just, what does it look like for me so that when I get there, I can say, I've hit that. Let me add to that, or let me leave it, right? Let me plateau it. And I think that in my life, I have people who look at my resume and they're like, oh my God, your resume is so impressive. You've done this, you've done that. And I'm like, I don't feel like I've hit the pinnacle of success yet. Yeah, I'm hard on myself, but I don't feel like I haven't hit my pinnacle of what my success looks like in my eyes. So that's the vision. That's where the vision comes in there. And I get clearer and clearer on my vision regularly so that I know what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? What my purpose looks like for me every day.
That's also important, because if you don't have a vision, then you end up being laid off from your job and totaling your car so that you can live out your purpose and be what you're in. And I was so focused on being at home that I missed focusing on the details of a livelihood that allows me freedom and flexibility to be accessible to my babies, because that was just as important as
being home. Yeah.
Yes.
And I also think that in this process of manifesting, right, you have to look at, if you know what your vision looks like, then you can understand when it's starting to manifest, right? Mm-hmm. You can understand when it's starting to come together. You can understand when you're hitting the right targets and when you're on the right track, so that you can either keep going on that track, or you can switch tracks, you know what I mean? Or you can switch strategies, you can switch whatever you need to switch. But if you don't have a vision, and you don't know what it looks like, then you just keep going and you keep doing things that really have no meaning and have no purpose. And then you feel like, oh, it didn't work out. You know what I mean? That thing didn't manifest for me. So being that I know what my purpose and stuff is, a lot of times I'll look at a situation, I'll say, you know what? That's not for me. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's not what I want to do. It's not going that way. And that makes it easier for you to be able to decide what you're going to do. So
absolutely.
So you think about it in this way. So if your purpose is freedom-based lifestyle, but you get offered like a $50,000 job, but it doesn't offer you any freedom, but it offers you, you know what I mean? It doesn't offer you any freedom. You have to go into the office every day. The money is great, but you didn't think about what that looked like, right? And that's happened to me, so I can say that. It's happened to me. It's like, oh, I'm making this money, but I can't build my business because I don't have no time, because all my time and energy is invested into this job. So when you start to think, okay, what would it look like? And it's not that you can't have it, it's that it has to look a certain way to you. So it's that thing. Hold on.
She said, hold on, in case y'all missed that. While she is handling that. Oh, you're back? Okay. Oh my God, you are so African right now. While I is doing silent parenting, I want to elaborate a little bit on the point she just made about knowing what something looks like and being very clear about your purpose and your vision so that when it starts to manifest, you can see it. So 2 jobs ago, nope, 1 job ago, I ended up facilitating life skills workshops on behalf of a local college. It was all the things. I was accessible to the minis. I had time freedom. I worked when I wanted to. If I didn't want to work, I didn't work. If I hadn't been clear about my passion and my purpose for teaching and facilitating, I wouldn't have known what a gift that position was. So sometimes things show up and they don't look precisely the way we thought that they would.
Very true.
But they are the essence of the thing that we asked for.
Yeah, this is true. So in sticking with the purpose and the vision, right? Mm-hmm. I've always done vision board. I went to a workshop, the event the other night, and I met the owner of a local business here called Nana's Chickens and Waffles, right? Yeah. And it's a small business, and they have a 2 to 3 hour wait to get inside. Okay. And I met her, and she said, she was on a panel, and she said, my husband and I wrote a vision board. Now, I've always done vision board, and honestly, now I look back on it, the ones that came through was the ones that I was very clear on. The ones I didn't get or didn't happen, or it was the things I wasn't very clear on what they would look like, right? And how it would work, and who were the people. And I feel like since I've gotten a little bit more clarity, I'm starting to see it. But I digress from the story. So she said she wrote everything down. They put their vision board together down to the hours they wanted to be open. And when people say, well, why are you going to be open to 4 o'clock? That's the time she wanted to close, 4 o'clock. She wanted to be open, I think, from like 8 to 4, 9 to 4, something like that. People are like, why you want to close at 4 o'clock? Don't you want to be open as long as she was like, no, this is my vision. And she was very clear about it. So it came. And now she's opening another location. Who knows how many other locations she's going to open. So one of the activities that I think that we talked about and suggested is a vision board. Like, don't take your vision board very lightly. You can do a vision board any type of way you want. So you can do it with only words. You can do your vision board with pictures. You could do an online vision board through Pinterest. I have a girl from Karen that does her vision board on mugs. So she puts the vision board on different mugs, and then she uses her mugs, and she sees it every single day. How cool is that? Lamar's sister and her husband, when they were ready to buy their house and and really expand and stuff like that, what they did was they created a vision board of the house they wanted, where it's located, how much they wanted to pay for, how many bedrooms they had, and they put it above their bedroom door. Like when they were going out every day, they saw this, they looked at it, they talked about it, they engaged in activities related to it. You know what I mean? They were focused and drawn into that thing. So that's a great exercise in getting clarity, 1, 2, focusing on it on a regular basis, 3, engaging with it. But this is the other thing I'm going to mention about the vision board. It's like prayer. If you don't do the work, the vision board means nothing. Don't just create a bunch of wonderful pictures and put it on the wall, and then you never go visit a property that you want to see. You never ride in a car that you want to buy. You don't, you know what I mean? Try to drum up the business to have the money or go to work or, you know what I mean? Or create the business or do any of that stuff. That's not going to work. So I feel like, you know, if you don't do the things that you need to do to make the vision work, the vision is never going to work. So that's just my thing about the vision.
I have a vision of facilitating classes when Calvin's not in the background. That is awesome. Those of you watching probably don't know about my digital desktop vision board, but it's gotten me some really great dates. Who knows? Maybe it is ultimately what led to my yummy relationship.
Probably.
Yeah. The other thing about manifestations is to be patient, people. The book that I just edited, she talked about how she worked on getting her dream job for 5 years. Now, she needed a master's degree in something in order to get this dream job. So that it wasn't going to be a kind of thing. It wasn't going to be overnight. It was going to take a while. There was a process to it. So when you are buying houses, sometimes when you're getting a car, it's not an overnight experience. Sometimes it is putting that vision board on the wall and going and visiting those open houses while you clean up your credit and put money in the bank for your down payment and whatnot.
It's a process, and I think that the practical steps should never be thrown aside for the not the supernatural, for the how do I put it? The practical steps of doing shouldn't be put aside for the steps of, you know, the unconscious, so to speak, steps, right? Yeah. Because I think that sometimes we think we don't do, or we do and we forget the other part. So you should pray, and then you should go and work for what you pray for, right? So you should pray, and then you should go work for what you pray for, in addition to just praying. It's like sometimes we just pray, but we don't work for what we pray for. Or sometimes we just work for what we pray for. Yeah, we just work on it and we don't pray. Like, it's a combination of things that you have to do. Like, you have to clean up your credit. You have to pay your bills on time. You know what I mean? You have to do all these, and, you know, you have to keep praying for that thing to come to you. And then you have to do all the touches. You know what I mean? You have to get rid of negative energy, negative people. All those things have to come together in one synchrony, and then it happens. So I think that's the part of prosperity, so to speak, or manifestations that we miss out on. At least that's what it is for me. But I think that today's class is going to be short because you guys are not here to ask any questions. So,
hey, Kanika, you got any questions, Bo?
I didn't even see Kanika.
No, I don't have any questions. Hi, ladies. I'm just listening.
Oh, hey, Kanika.
I didn't want to just like leave and be like, all right, bye, Aya, and not say hi to you.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Your homework, should you choose to engage in it, is to create a vision board. And I'm going to post in the group if people would like me to do a live demo of a digital vision board, because I'm good at those.
Yeah, you're funny.
Then let me know. Hey, okay, I'm still playing the songs from the playlist. So I created my vision board as a slideshow on my desktop, and then I created a playlist to go with it. And I still play my playlist all the time.
That's a cool
like
idea.
Somebody's old wife over here.
Hilarious. You know, Flipagram. Is it Flipagram? Is that that's a really good one. I created a vision board. Now I'm going to tell you, don't do what I did. I don't jack it. I remember once in a while to look at it. It's a love vision board, and I have to, some of the stuff, if the kids are around, so I can't say all of it, but some of the stuff have come through. It's just, I needed to be more and more clear about what, like, you know, having somebody that supports me, that makes me a priority, that, you know what I mean? That type of thing.
I'm so glad you brought that up. So the other components, this whole vision piece, is you get to refine it the more experiences you have. Last year, when I asked for my car, I really just wanted it to run. That's it. I wanted it to run. I wanted it to be free. Y'all, my car is like a wind-up car. It actually says zzz when you back up. I have a 1.6 liter engine in my car and manual windows.
I don't think I've ever owned a car with manual windows.
This one might be the first one. Even my 1986 car had power windows.
I can't eat right now.
Anyway, so as I create my new car, I'll be clearer with my vision. So just be really clear about your vision, people. And know that you can change it. You can get something and give it back. You can get something that you think that you want and quickly upgrade. You're not stuck with the thing just because you created the thing. Or on your way there, you can decide, I don't want that after all. Like, I thought I wanted that thing, but I don't want that thing after all.
Yeah, that's the best part I think about vision is that you get to create it. You get to decide what you want to do with it. You get to play with it and even your purpose. Like, your purpose may have been to be an activist and you decide you don't want that anymore. And it's okay. Don't let anyone talk you out of the thing that you want to do. I know I've heard people say, when I share my vision, well, you're just doing too much. You should just pick one thing and do it. Well, that's not what works for me. This works for you, doesn't work for me. And you have to be clear on your purpose and your vision. You have to be clear on what you want to achieve and how you can, and then you go from there. And then you have to be open to realizing it's going to come from different sources and be okay with that too. So,
and in that same vein, I'm glad you said that. Be particular about who you share your vision and your purpose with.
Share it with no one.
Everybody is not there to support you. Everybody is not about supporting you. Even the people that like love you, they like love the face that you wear, can't always support your vision. So be very particular about who you share it with.
Yeah. Yes. So if you choose to do your vision board, definitely share it with us. I personally love Pinterest. I have a few vision boards on there, and because I'm obsessed with Pinterest, I'm on it on a regular basis, so I get to see my vision on all the time, and it keeps me on track. So that's one way. I will probably do another vision board before the year's over. I'm actually thinking of doing a vision board party down here in Atlanta. And going from there, gathering a couple of ladies, cooking, doing vision board party. Anything to drink wine and cook is fun for me. So I'll probably do that. Yep. So, all right, ladies, it has been a pleasure talking to you. But I have to go and make some fish in the infrared